is on our story.
Are you know straight guy? He would like to hear that, you know? Because he thinks there's only Stephenville and Cat Island, you know?
While I have you here, let me give you a little story on this one. It was sometime in the 1800s. A little fella by the name of Sancho decided he was going to run away from this site. Sancho was only 14 years old. He hid in the bushes. Sancho hid in the bushes for 2 days. When he got hungry, he came back to this site, took a ladder, put up to the gable end window where the peanuts were stored to dry. Sancho was seen, so he was captured. Um, the caretaker of this estate, who also caretaked the Polly Hill estate, wasn't here, but his wife had Sancho put in the cellar. After that, the caretaker came back, and in point of fact, what happened, they had a very big spreading tree in the yard, and he trussed Sancho up on this tree by his arms and his legs and beat him with the task line doubled 4 times. To make sure that this fella really got a punishment, he tied another youngster onto Sancho's body. Now imagine a slave, a great limb of tree, he's thrust up under that, and across his back was another slave. Well, after that happened, the fella came down, he was all cut up and bruised, and he used to sleep in the loft. So he had to go up to the loft. To cut a long story short, 7 days later, Sancho died, and the people out of Nassau, the government, sent the British man-of-war up here to arrest the overseer. The arrest was made, the overseer was tried, but even the slaves at this site came down to Nassau and testified in the Supreme Court that when, I forget the name of the overseer, when he beat them, and he was a black man, he was a slave himself, when he beat them nicely. How you could beat somebody nicely is beyond me. There were so many, the Dixon gentlemen, the Farquharson gentlemen, they all said how kind and nice this fellow was. The jury then brought him innocent. The governor was livid. When John Storr asked for his overseer, again, who was a black slave, to come back here, because you couldn't take them over water without permission, the governor said, no, I don't give you permission. So what John Storr did, he set his overseer free. And as a free man, he was able to send him back to this site. The governor appealed to the Queen, and there was quite a major incident in Nassau about it. But it was one of those very trying cases. As I did this research, I must share with you, as I did the research through the archives, it brought tears to my eyes. I cut it all short, but I've written it all out, and I'm going to let you have copies of the research. It was really a poignant time. But I'm looking at that window up there, that must have led to the loft where all the peanuts were drying, where a 14-year-old slave boy, after 2 days in the woods, came and put a ladder to go get the peanuts, was apprehended and put in the cellar, very possibly where Miss Molly is sitting. And he died and was buried. Well, the slaves here decided they were going to remove. They wouldn't give the body over and all that, but eventually they stood down and sent a sloop to Nassau to carry the message to the governor, who then sent a British man of war out here to make the arrest. The rest of that you'll find in a document that I will let you have.
It's Wednesday, the 28th of October. We're in Noses, Island.